Hi guys, I'm Karis K. Wilson. Welcome back to my channel. If you're an ambitious undergraduate student, graduate student, or young professional, then you are in the right place. In today's video, I'm going to talk about if you should take a card with you when you go to college during your first year of your freshman year in undergrad. And so this is going to be kind of a bit of almost like story time. If you guys are interested in story time videos, let me know. I definitely have a lot of stories that people have told me are quite interesting. So if you have an interest in a topic or you just have questions for me, please feel free to either like DM me on Instagram or leave a comment in the comment section below if that makes sense for you and kind of how you like to communicate. But nonetheless, the first thing that you want to consider, and so I think it's important to say that oftentimes parents are buying vehicles for their children and it's not, or for their kids soon to be adults, and it's not necessarily the kid's decision. So this video is kind of going to be, again, like a story time, and then also more so to talk about things that you as a student should consider and things you should be aware of if you are in college and you have a card, which I think you'll find helpful. And then also if you're a parent watching this video with your kid or soon to be adult, then you'll also maybe consider these things from, maybe their perspective and some things that you maybe want to think about to figure out kind of the best path forward for you and your family. So with that being said, the first thing that you want to consider is the maturity of the individuals that you'll be around, as well as the maturity of your particular self and of your kid if you're a parent watching this. And so there are, I think, many different types of in stages that we as young adults and students going into college, we're all in kind of different places with different experiences, different backgrounds. And so for me, like growing up, I didn't necessarily feel like I was limited with kind of what I could do or what I couldn't do with regards to, I feel like there was just a standard and I wanted to live up to that standard. And so I never really pressed the boundaries in that way because I didn't want to. And I just felt like, my parents and the wisdom they gave me was good and sound, and that they were trying to lead me in the best way. They were leading me down the path that would cause less disruption and destruction and pain and hurt and turmoil. And so while it doesn't mean I didn't go through things, I trusted that with my parents. And I feel like there were some things that maybe I could have learned a little bit sooner, but generally speaking, I don't have many regrets when it comes to choosing to do the way that my parents raised me versus doing what other people may have been doing that I was privy to or things that I saw. So I think, again, there's two different perspectives. There's, perspective from, kind of my standpoint and being a college student myself, and having been in that position where, I had a card, but I also saw a lot of people who had cards that they were just different maturity levels. So that's important to consider about yourself, and kind of either, if your parent lets you go with a card, kind of considering, and understanding who you are and what things to look out to and what things not to look out for. And then as a parent, also to consider that for your kid. And I think that kind of helps you transition into the next point, which is pressure. So there are, in general, I think there's a lot of newness going on when you're going to college, especially your first year. And then if you add a card in the mix, that can mean a lot for some people. For me, it just simply meant, great, I have this wonderful tool and resource, and when I need to use it to go to the grocery store, to go to different events on campus, like celebrations, like for example, there was an award ceremony celebration for scholarship recipients for the scholarship I received from the university. I didn't have to ask or ride for that. So, when I need to go shopping, when I need to get toiletries, those type of things, I was like, this is wonderful. Like, I couldn't ask for any more when I wanted to go on just drives to kind of clear my mind and get fresh air, go to the park. I was very much an introvert and wasn't a big party person or going to hang out with a ton of friends. I'm very much into the calm scene and keeping it calm, keeping it classy, and just trying to go about my day without making any waves of, having any issues. Just less drama as possible was my personality. For some people, it was all about what's happening now, getting involved in a variety of different things, which nothing is wrong with that. I'm not bashing that. If that's you, great. I think that a lot of people that are into that kind of stuff, whether it's partying or just going out with friends a lot and having fun and going to dinner dates and whatever, it's all up to you, and it's just whatever brings you joy, do it. But I think for those who did partake in those things that brought them joy, they can maybe speak more so to the things to kind of look out for, because I think that there's things to think about with everything that we do. But I more so say, you don't necessarily anticipate the pressures that come with that. And now looking back on my time in undergrad, being a first year student with a car and having people around me maybe that didn't have vehicles that, mind you, I didn't know well, because I was an out-of-state student going from, the suburbs of Atlanta to University of Kentucky. So I didn't go with like a friend, or really I didn't go knowing anyone. And so there were some experiences where kind of like in a not so obvious way, people would say, hey, can we borrow your car? Or, will you take us to these different places? And, I didn't really think much about it, but just thought, no, that's okay. I'd rather not. I don't want to go. And I don't think I was really picking up what they were putting down in a variety of ways, whether it was that they were trying to use potentially, or they were just trying to, get someone who had a vehicle who could take them to where they need to be because they didn't have one, which is okay. I think that a lot of students are in that position. Nothing's wrong with that. But I think the bigger thing was that I later found out that with a lot of these different kind of scenarios and situations that occurred, a lot of times there were sometimes characters around that were not, were not the most friendly, or that caused just things that you wouldn't want to be involved in, or you wouldn't want to have yourself involved in, your vehicle near or involved in. And so you want to just kind of think about these kind of two major things when trying to think about if going to college your first year with your vehicle is one, the best decision for you, but then two, kind of what to think about and what to consider as a young person who definitely wants to have fun, but also who wants to protect their property, who wants to be and remain safe, who doesn't want people taking advantage of them and putting them in bad positions. And so as I mentioned in the last video, I'm kind of making a shift with regard to some of the topics I'm touching on with regard to, being an undergraduate student, graduate student, or a young professional. But I did want to slip in that car video because I got some different comments and questions about that. So I wanted to fit that in for this week. But I am transitioning to talking about the differences between a four-year university, a community college, trade school. I know there are a lot of questions about that, and kind of how you make that decision and why that there's a level of importance with making those decisions. So I am super excited about the videos to come. Next week, I'll be talking about the things that you really want to consider, that you want top of mind when thinking about a four-year university versus a community college. And then the week following that, the week after, I'll talk about a community college and getting an associate's degree versus getting a trade, and what top 3 things that you want to think about with that. And so anyways, I'm so excited about that. I'm so excited for you guys' questions. And yeah, I'm sure you guys know, I just love this content. I love sharing this information with you guys and just touching your lives and helping you make these decisions that are so important and pivotal to your life. We all have to work. We all have to get some type of training or education at some point in time. And so it's something that these topics is something that's just applicable to us and needed. So anyways, with that being said, I will see you next week and see you in the next video. Don't forget to subscribe, to like, hit the notification bell, and also go in and follow me on my different social media platforms and visit my website as well, where there's tons of good content on there if you just want to explore. So anyways, I will see you next week and see you in the next video. Bye guys. Hi guys, thank you so much for tuning in to the Karis K YouTube channel. If you're interested in receiving more content and information about how to navigate your undergraduate experience, your graduate experience, or your experience as a young professional, then go ahead and hit the subscription button and the notification bell. If you're also interested in receiving collegiate news updates or breaking news, then also go ahead and hit the subscription button and hit the notification bell. See you in the next video. Bye guys.